There we are. ChatGPT for real estate. We're
Yay.
looking.
All right, guys. I'm going to go through this. This is your very basic. I wish I could get back to you all because I can't see your screen now. Or I can't see any of you all. Feel free to just interrupt me because I can't see you guys. So if you have a question, just feel free. There's not too many on here. Just ask during this. But this class is going to be one of a couple, I believe. This is a very basic, elementary, entry level class of ChatGPT. So if you all don't know, we own a marketing company, of course, and Agent Wise Design, all the products you guys have there. But I have been training on AI technology for about 2.5 years now. So when I say I'm in like extremely immersed into this, we're going to talk about Gemini and Mid Journey and just different, I guess, different AI technology that I think is beneficial to a real estate agent. So this is just ChatGPT today, and like I said, entry level. If you have any questions, like I said, feel free to interrupt me. Okay. So, what is ChatGPT? ChatGPT, it's like having a super smart assistant that's available to you 24/7. Helps you write your captions, your MLS listings, helps you brainstorm ideas, and just generate all different types of content. So, basically, you can type in a task or a question, and it will give you instant, detailed response. So whether it's writing an email response or email templates, more so what we do, coming up with social media captions, which we also do, creating a listing description, or helping you sound more professional. Think of it as like Google that you could talk back to. And matter of fact, when you go to the doctor's office, not knocking a doctor, right, or anybody in that field, but a lot of them do Google things too, right? And my doctor the other day, I caught him chat GPTing a question that I had. I thought to myself, well, that's funny. So I have used it for that reason as well. But it gives you ready to use content tailored to exactly what you're asking for. Okay. So we're going to go through a couple different, ways we can talk to chat, and we'll go through all that. But most agents, you guys are wasting so much time. We've talked about the templates and talked about batching your content and figuring out what to post, right? So many people are also wasting a lot of time figuring out what to say. So in regard to the marketing side of ChatGPT, for the Agent Wise design, all we do, you guys, is we screenshot or we download the template that, let's say inside the social media posts, we download that and then we upload that to ChatGPT and we say, all right, give me a very compelling caption for Instagram. Give me a caption for Facebook, for LinkedIn. And it is extremely important that you do it differently and like say, okay, this is for Instagram, because you don't want like a huge long storybook that you might put on Facebook or a LinkedIn post. Okay. So that is one really cool way that we use it. But I want you guys all to feel comfortable. I think a lot of people are getting afraid of AI, and it is no secret. AI most certainly is replacing a lot of jobs. But in my opinion, I don't think it's here to replace a realtor. I think it's here to amplify you. And I feel like it's helping you focus on, serving your clients better, putting more time back into your schedule, looking professional. Okay. So I personally don't think it's here to replace a realtor. I do think there's some aspects that's going to, help maybe like the property management and stuff like that. But in regard to the real human to human experience, I do not think it's here to replace you. So the modern realtor problem and why AI is not optional anymore. Um, a lot of people, and I get it, you don't have to use AI. I actually got kind of in a heated debate the other day with a woman. She's like, "Oh, it's doing this, this, and this," and everybody, again, you guys are entitled to what you believe. But honestly, you guys, it really is beneficial to your business. Just the time aspect, the professional aspect. But nowadays, you guys, it's not about just opening the doors. You guys have to be full time marketers. You have to be content creators. You have to be a market expert, contract negotiators, relationship managers, and problem solvers, right? And somehow you also need to be present for your family, right? So nothing has changed though in the real estate business. Your clients are still expecting fast responses. Social media demands your consistency nowadays, and marketing requires originality, right? So nothing has changed there, but what has changed is all the other hats that you have to wear. So why not use AI technology to help you, better serve your business and put more time back into your life, right? And less stress. So when you use ChatGPT and Gemini or whatever source you want to do, and by the way, this is interchangeable if you are going to use the Google Gemini. I do think ChatGPT is a little bit more how would I say this? It's broader responses with ChatGPT, okay? But interchangeable in this presentation. But the result when you use it, you're not going to have burnout. You will have consistent marketing. You're not going to be staring at the at a blank screen thinking, "What should I post?" Right? You're not posting just to post. You're posting with intent essentially every day. And if you're not, that's like a matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can pull that up real quick. That is a good example of talking to chat. You would basically say, look, I'm looking to post with intent. I'm not looking just to post random stuff on my feed. So I want my pillars, my marketing pillars to be educational. Maybe you want like Alan, he's got a little bit of humor in his marketing, right? So whatever your plan for your business is, I would straight up tell chat just like that. I'm looking to post with intent, okay? And also, you're not going to feel left behind. I know a lot of people, whether they've been in the business a long time and things have changed. I mean, I've been in this industry for 18 years and things have changed drastically. So, someone, longer than me, they definitely have seen a lot of the changes, right? But I hear a lot of people when they get on my Zoom calls with me one on one, they're like, Ash, I'm behind. I feel behind. I can't do all these things. And, it does take somebody like me to see a hole in a lot of people's business, right? I got to slow it down and kind of have those come to Jesus moments again. But honestly, you guys, a lot of the problems, I promise you, that you're experiencing, others are experiencing. And this truly is a solution for quite a few of them. Okay. So, I put here, this is not a work ethic problem, so don't beat yourself up like, oh, how am I not doing what they're doing? It's a systems problem. I will be talking to you guys all about different systems, but in my opinion, if you could figure out, and I don't know if we had this class or not, I can't recall, but I do teach like a time blocking class essentially. If you have not taken the time to just take one admin day a month, okay, eventually, I know it sounds crazy to say, oh, you can get to that weekly and you feel like, oh, I'm missing money, but I promise you, you're not. You need to take that time to work on your systems. And this is one of them, right? That you would work on your systems. So we'll talk again a little bit more about that here. So, how to get started if you don't have ChatGPT? I guess go ahead and put in the chat since you guys this is recorded. Put in the chat if you have the free version or if you have the paid version of ChatGPT. Um, I humbly believe, just like Canva, this is one of those things I would just pay the $20 for the paid version. The free version can get you pretty far, but you're getting a lot more bang with your buck for $20. So it's one of those things I personally would put into your marketing plan. But to get started, you guys are going to go to chat.openai.com. You'll sign up for an account and just follow the steps there. And then once you're logged in, okay, you're going to see a simple chat box. So I'm going to pull that up here. Oh no, you guys can't see. Can you see this screen, Alan? ChatGPT? Uh,
I see how to get started is all I see.
I believe we see your slide, but not the actual ChatGPT
yeah,
site.
I was wondering. Okay, let me get back to your screen sharing. Okay. Well, it's not going to allow me. But if you all have your computer, pull it up, ChatGPT, the website here.
Mhm.
But basically, when you log in, you're going to see essentially like a box that says Ask Anything. Okay. And this is where you're going to just really start talking to it. Me personally, again, with the paid version, you can have chat like really save your memory and get to know you. So I know this sounds a little funny and we're all sitting here talking to a robot, but I would introduce yourself. I would say, hey, this is who I am. This is the type of clients I serve. Here's the areas I serve. I'm looking to be better at this with my business, XYZ. This is where I suck at my business. I mean, I really would talk to this like it's your diary. And then at the end of that, I would say, save this memory for future use. So write that down. So after you introduce yourself and tell a little bit about your business, what you're looking to accomplish, what you're not good at, and what you are good at, I would say save this memory for future use. Okay. Step number 3, though, it says give better prompts for better results. So ChatGPT works best when you give it context, be specific. And again, going back to what I just said, I think a lot of people, you want to be proper. This is not the time to just say, all right, chat, I'm looking to do XYZ. Like, honestly, talk to it. This is not Google where you need to ask a very specific question. You can ask and you can be as detailed as you possibly want to be, okay? I have found the more that I talk to it, like if I'm talking to a friend, I get better prompts. People ask me all the time, well, I do the same kind of things that you do, or I'm writing, similar things like that, but I'm not generating prompts like you are. And I truly think because I made this like my bestie, right? So definitely give a little bit more context. So again, here, write about an open house. So write a fun Facebook post promoting an open house that I'm holding this Saturday from 1 to 3. It's a 4-bedroom home, blah, 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 etc. I don't know how I feel. I don't know how you feel about emojis. I find them overwhelming sometimes in certain people's posts, but I tell, if I want emojis like with these types of posts, I will say use light emojis. Okay. So it is not always going to give you the emojis if you don't ask for it, right? And if you don't say light emojis, it's going to go ham with all kinds of crazy stuff. So again, talk to it like you would talk to anybody. Step number 4, edit or ask for rewrite. So if you're not happy with that first draft, you can say, hey, make it more professional. Or for me, make it more, make it sound like me more. I will constantly like add a little bit of the professional, but I'm not cookie cutter like your typical marketing person. I don't want to sound like that. So chat knows my tone, right? And that's another prompt that you might say with the memory, either when you introduce yourself or as you're kind of going through these rewrites, as you will, you definitely would say, hey, save these different styles of writing. Make sure the memory is saving this style of writing. And so like if I want to go back to an Instagram style writing, or if I want to have something more like a blog post, or if I do need a professional email written, ChatGPT knows all the different styles of writing that we do, if that makes sense. Okay. All right, so this next thing. So what's the difference again between the free and the paid? So the first thing, definitely the speed. I don't know if you all remember, I'm sure you remember dial-up internet. Oh my God, can you imagine if we had to do that again? So that's how I feel when I had the free version. I was like, this is taking a while. Even if it was only 45 seconds versus like the 5 seconds I get, I mean, that does add up. The accuracy, that's another major thing. And I think extremely important in my opinion in the real estate industry. You all have to be careful what you say, like obviously we're not lawyers, we're not title, we're not lenders. But the accuracy in general, though, you want to make sure that you are correct. Okay. Again, the memory. So it does not remember your past chats when you have the free version. Okay. The latest model, I need to update this. It's actually past ChatGPT 4. I think we're at like 5.2 or something crazy. And then the cost, like I said, is $20 a month. Okay. All right, so the hidden cost of doing everything yourself. I am an extremely, just so you know, type A personality, and I am one of those people, they say the jack of all trades. I truly am, but you feel like, okay, you can do all these things, and we all can do a lot of the things, right? but it's like focus on what you do well. Again, putting that time and that energy back into your life, your family, your health. Like for me, I was doing a million one things. I've got a 2-year-old running around, and then all of a sudden, a couple years ago, I actually fell ill, and I ended up in the hospital basically from burnout, but they called it tachycardia. But I was just stressed to the max. Okay, so there's a lot of hidden costs of doing everything yourself. So most realtors don't realize how much time they lose each week writing their captions, rewriting emails, explaining the same things over and over again, planning content, responding to objections, and starting from scratch every time. Those minutes add up to hours. Those hours will add up to stress. And your stress, I promise you, leads to inconsistency. Because when we're stressed, we're like, oh, screw it, I'm not going to do anything. And you shut down, right? Or your marketing becomes very random and very sporadic. I see this every single week. You guys have to understand, I jump on Zoom calls anywhere between like 6 to 9 of them a day, 5 days a week. So I'm talking to a lot of people, and I promise you, I will see they'll tell me, oh, I'm stressed, I don't do this. Oh, I'm not interested, I don't do this, right? So the inconsistencies are there because people are not using their systems the correct way. Um, so why this tool will change everything for you as a realtor, it acts like your marketing assistant. It acts as a copywriter, a brainstorming partner, a communication coach, a time saver. Obviously, I'm very, very passionate about you guys putting time back into your life. But a marketing assistant, a copywriter, let's talk about that. Before this was like mainstream for everybody, I'm sure it's been out for a lot longer than a lot of us realize, but I was actually, when I started Agent Wise Design in 2020, I actually paid a copywriter to do a lot of the guides that we had, like the buyer guide, the seller guide, so on and so forth. And I paid about $800 for 4 guides. So it was $200 a guide. Okay. That was very expensive as the girl. She was amazing. Don't get me wrong, right? But it was so expensive to keep going that way. It wasn't making sense, right, for my business. A marketing assistant. Now, I still personally I've got a whole staff of 8 people, but some of you, I promise you, you may have your VA doing all these things that really chat could be doing, and you can outsource your VA to do other tasks. Okay. I'm not saying get rid of the VA, that this is going to take their job or whatever, but I promise you, if you sit and think through your business and work your own system and work your business plan, you're going to find, oh, chat can do X, Y, Z. And now my VA can focus on more transactional things, right? Because I don't think, I mean, at least for now, I don't think there's AI technology for a transaction coordinator. So, but yes, all of that all in one. So again, not to take away your voice, but to help you, and chat will help you use it more efficiently. Okay. So realtors who embrace tools like this do not work harder, they're working smarter. Again, you're showing up more consistently, you're communicating clearly, you're marketing strategically, and you're projecting your time. And that's exactly what my book, which I'm going to give to Alan and Neil here, you guys are going to get an entire book. So like I said, this is well, you can't see my screen, but this is like a very basic intro to chat. This ChatGPT guide that we built, I think it's like 58 pages. It is very in depth. We've got all kinds of examples in there. So definitely check that out. I think we talked about the benefits here quite a bit. Okay, so how ChatGPT can be used in real estate. And these are just, again, a couple ideas. Inside the guide, it's very, very in depth, okay? But writing listing descriptions instantly. So no more staring at your blank screen. Give ChatGPT the property details and it will give you a beautiful, polished MLS description. I think so. The woman that I got, into a debate with the other day, she essentially was calling out realtors for being lazy. That was like the you know the idea behind the post. She was like, "Oh, you can tell it's a Chat GPT description," and I'm thinking to myself, if it's describing the home correctly, if it sounds, like it's basically telling the story of the home. Who cares if someone used ChatGPT to enhance their listings, right? Another one of my clients recently told me, she goes, well, I took over a listing. It's been listed a couple times over the years, and truly nothing's changed about the house, other than like new renters or new paint colors or whatever, right? And so what she does is she's like, well, if it's a listing that's been listed before, I don't want to take all of my brain energy and all of my bandwidth essentially and having to come up from scratch. She's like, I will copy an old one, ask ChatGPT to refine it, but completely change it so you're not taking essentially copyright. I don't think it's copyright, but you know what I mean. You're not taking exactly, but you're giving that same story of the home, right? So I thought that was pretty clever. Um, but yeah, in my opinion, I think use this. I don't think don't let somebody make you feel bad that you're using things to again help you streamline your business and make things look better. And then here's the second one, create social media captions that convert. So are you tired of posting the same boring stuff? You can ask chat to write creative Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, for all of your social posts. So again, what we do, let's just pretend that this is a social post. We will download, page one, or we will screenshot it. And inside ChatGPT, you can see there's a button where you can upload a picture. You can upload pictures, documents. I put sometimes URLs if I need ChatGPT to understand like a website. But basically, you would screenshot the photo and this is what we say. We're like, all right, chat, look at the photo or look at the marketing graphic more so. Give me a hook, which is basically that caption that converts, that hook, it converts, and then give me a strong call to action. Now, going back real quick, when you introduce yourself, I also want you guys to write this down. So when you introduce yourself to chat and you're giving all the information, I want you to tell chat too all of your details, right? Like your name, it has to say realtor with all capital letters and the register mark or broker associate or whatever you are. Give it your phone number, your website, and your email. Okay. And again, you're going to ask chat to remember that signature. Now, you're not like us posting for 1,200 plus people every single day. So you really can use your signature over and over again. So going back to when you screenshot your marketing piece, essentially, you're going to tell it again, give me a hook. Give me, a short caption for social media, for Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and then always include my signature. So you don't have to do that every single time, okay? And what you could do if you're feeling fancy, what we do at least in-house, we will actually we have so many different people, okay? Some agents don't want their email, some don't want their website, some want it all, some got to put their license number, whatever. We do change it up for them, sporadically, essentially, but we will put it in their file, just like if you have your cheat sheet in your Canva. We will put their signature, how ChatGPT lays it out, like in notes or something, and we'll just copy and paste it different ways, right? So you could do that as well. But I think it's important again to remember you can upload photos. It will analyze like what that is. So if it's something, I don't have it here, but if it's something that it's talking about buyers or sellers, like they're going to put that in the caption. And then again, you want to make sure you put call to action. So the call to action is DM me, call me, whatever, message me. And again, remember, if you don't like the way that it's giving you the information, you can say, hey, refine that call to action or refine the hook, so you can kind of go back and forth with that. And trust me when I say you will do that, because I don't often I don't say like, oh, DM me. My audience is not like a bunch of 20-year-olds, right? I'm working with people my age, older, some 20-year-olds, but I don't really say DM me because they don't know what that means, right? A lot of people. So I'll say message me, schedule on my calendar, book a call with me. We'll switch it up often. All right, so writing emails to clients. Now, this is something, and this is kind of embarrassing to say, but this is something that believe it or not, it was kind of like a light bulb that went off in my head like a couple weeks ago. So I get a lot of the same questions when we onboard a client, like when we set someone up for agent wise design. If somebody wants us to send like an overview, essentially, you guys are going to laugh at this, and I'm definitely embarrassed, but I would literally handwrite, "Welcome to Agent Wise Design. Here's an overview. Here's the recap with Ashley." And I'm thinking to myself, why don't I have a template for this? Duh, right? So even though like we've been using this for years, I promise you, you're going to come up with chat. You're going to be like, "Oh my God, I could have did this with that." I think everything going forward, though, and I'm just saying, save you guys a lot of time that didn't save me. If you know that you are always saying the same thing about like you're about to go to a listing appointment, right? And you're just sending that follow-up email, or you're sending the follow-up email after the listing appointment, or when you get a new lead, or when you after an open house, whatever it is, right? That communication, go ahead, save yourself the time that I didn't, and make yourself templates inside of like Google Docs or Word, Word, whatever, right? But basically, you're going to have ChatGPT write maybe a couple different styles of emails, and you're literally just going to save them as documents and copy and paste it when you need it. So now I'm like thinking to myself, okay, if I want to send an overview to 50 people, I'm not writing 50 emails, I'm just copy and pasting. How crazy is that? So you're gonna have those aha moments too, I promise you. Every day, the girls are like, "Ash, did you know we could do this and this?" I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy." So writing emails to your clients, and that kind of goes to also with like text messages or messages on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Like people ask me a lot of the same things too about like booking a call. How do I book a call with you? So what I do on my phone, since I'm not always sitting behind a computer, and neither are you, right? I do have Google Drive on on my phone and the computer, of course, but I have it on my phone where I can easily copy and paste those emails. I also have another thread inside of my Google Drive where they're just like simple text messages or simple messages that have a link to my calendar. Okay, so I'll basically just rotate between those documents, and I copy and paste a lot. So, but again, I didn't make it sound like me. I didn't make it sound like I was like, chat GPT response. I told it, I was like, I'm sending a text message. I wanted to say, "Hey girl," or "Hey there," or whatever. I'm kind of a bubbly personality. So do with that what you will, but you can refine that as well. Now, brainstorm marketing ideas. So if you need video ideas, blog topics, that's important, I think. Lead magnet suggestions. ChatGPT is a creative goldmine when you're stuck. Um, when I was in college, please don't go find me, but when I was in college, I used to do a lot of YouTube videos. And I remember having like this creative burnout. A lot of YouTubers back in the day, we would all have, because we're like, what more can we talk about, right? I'm thinking to myself now, man, the sky's the limit between YouTube and Reels and TikTok. Not only the influence that you see on there, but all the ideas that chat can give you. If I was feeling fancy, we've got all kinds of different guides inside Agent Wise Design if you really just want some good ideas. But if I was feeling fancy, I can make 50 different guides for you guys, right? We've got one that's got, I think, like 150 different ideas. But if I wanted to tell chat, "Hey, here's 150 that I already have, give me 500 more," it would. And then we could break those into different guides. So when I tell you the sky's the limit, um, endless ideas, okay? But again, going back to talking to your chat and prompting it the right way, don't just straight up say, "I need blog ideas. I'm a realtor." Okay, you would say, "I need blog ideas. I'm a realtor in the Atlanta metro market," or whatever market you're in, right? "I need blog ideas in the Atlanta metro market. I only work with sellers." Like give it some context and run with it there. Um, As far as video ideas, this is what we have done. We've actually found quite a few different TikTokers we follow and Instagram people, influencers, I guess if you will, in the real estate world. And we basically just copy their profile, and I tell Chat, okay, analyze this, give me some cool ideas that are from these pages, right? Because I don't have the time to sit there and sift through all that content. And so if I do that, I'm saying, all right, if you've already used it for one creator, don't give me that same idea with this next person. I mean, that's how intuitive this is. Okay. Lead magnet suggestions. So what those are, if you're not familiar, we have the training, you guys. It's inside Agent Wise Design. Please write this down, because I can see how many people are watching it and not watching it, but please do yourself a favor and watch it. If you log into Agent Wise Design, on the left hand side there's a tab that says training. You're going to go to real estate, the category real estate training, and you're going to find the video where it says many chat. And essentially, we do have quite a few lead magnets inside of Agent Wise Design, and it will make sense after you watch that video. But so I'm not going to go too far, because I really want you guys to watch that. But trust me when I tell you, I just had someone the other day. She's like, Ashley, I just got 30 something leads from that. And like, that's incredible, right? So you have that at your fingertips. So please go watch that. Simplify real estate jargon. So ChatGPT can help you break down complex terms, explain contracts in plain English so you can explain things better to your client. Be careful with this. You are not attorneys, lawyers, whatever, right? But I think just your simple things that you may want to know for your own personal gain, it can break it down for you. So my brother's a lawyer, and he's like, I was talking to Corey about it, and he goes, yeah, he's like, it's actually pretty incredible that, it's basically telling the client, or the person, essentially what we would tell them as a lawyer. I'm like, that's crazy. So just be careful now. Best practices. So AI can only create at the level that you train it and that you prompt it. If you're not giving it the right inputs, you're always going to get generic, forgettable content. So writing good prompts for ChatGPT is essential to receive accurate and valuable responses. So here are some tips for creating a couple more. Again, I think we've talked about this, but I want to reiterate. So be clear and specific. So provide clear and specific information about what you're seeking. Instead of asking, tell me about the housing market, you can say, can you provide recent sales data for single family homes in the 90210 zip code? And it will give you that information. Now, before I go through the rest of these, I want to show you guys something I just learned. So here we call it LIPA. It's basically the tax records. So you can pull your tax records. But what the agent did, this is one of my local clients to me here in Florida. She pulled all of the, how would you call it, like the hot sheet for a specific neighborhood. So maybe write this down. She pulled, a certain zip code, the hot sheet. So what that is of course your actives, your pendings, your solds, your expireds, and your coming soons. Okay. So she pulled all that data, and then she put it into essentially like an Excel spreadsheet. I think that's how it downloaded, like a CSV file. But then she uploaded it into ChatGPT, and she said, okay, Chat, um, give me, how would she say it? Give me like memorable hooks, I guess, that I can use with this data. So she basically just gave me a bunch of information. She goes, Ashley, now can you design some stuff from my content? And I was like, of course, right? So not only are we starting to design for her business, like the content for that specific zip code, like, homes, I don't know, 12 homes just came on the market this week. The absorption rate was this. Homes sat on the market this long, this and that. But what we're doing is we're going back into those like Facebook groups for that specific area, and we're target marketing to the people that live there. So she is a listing agent, specifically this woman, but we're looking to get her more listings, and it's really crazy how many people are starting to engage with us. It's not a ton, but it's like 15, 16 people, but that's a hell of a lot more than doing nothing. Okay. So that's just something cool. So again, it can take data and it can make it into social media content. So that's I guess in layman terms what you would say. You would download that, upload it into ChatGPT and say, okay, use this data, make me 20 different social media posts that I can copy and paste into Canva. I guess that's like the very basics of what you would say there. Use open-ended questions, so frame questions in an open-ended manner to encourage more detailed and informative responses. For instance, ask what are the most important factors to consider when pricing a property for sale. You could ask a yes or no question, but what good is that? Get as much substance and detail as you can. So, what are the most important factors to consider when pricing a property for sale in the 90210, right? So if you are specifically farming an area or a city or whatever it is, make sure you're adding those details, okay? Break down complex questions. So if you have a multi-part question, consider breaking it down into multiple simple questions. This can result in a more accurate and comprehensive response. I feel like I break ChatGPT sometimes. It thinks I'm annoying or I'm like asking way too many questions. But I've noticed when it can't think, like when the memory is not spitting out as fast as I need it to, I will break my question into different threads. Not on that same thread. I like straight up will ask, like I like do a new chat basically. So I think a lot of people will keep it on that same thread. Don't break chat. You're not going to break it, but there's some times where you kind of stump it, and it's like it's just not catching up basically. So break it down into different questions. Include context. So when relevant, provide context again to help ChatGPT understand the subject and background of your question. So for example, in the current seller's market, what strategies can buyers use to negotiate better deals in 90210, if you want to write that? Specify data and sources. So if you need data that is or information from a specific source, indicate that in the prompt. So for instance, please provide median home prices in Miami for the last 12 months from reliable sources. And it will say realtor.com, zillow.com, homes.com, whatever. If you are needing to put those stats out there. In my opinion, just from a marketing standpoint, please cite your sources. It doesn't need to be gigantic. You can put it really small. This is from NAR's website, or this is from whatever website, right? So if it's something that's like data driven, cite your source. A good place to get a lot of that kind of information is from your lenders. They may ask you to put their logo on there, which is fine. But yeah, always make sure you're citing your sources. I gotta move this window out of the way. All right, so real life use cases for realtors, right? We talked about the listing descriptions, email follow-ups, and market reports. Outreach scripts. So generate a persuasive script for reaching out to for sale by owners. Or for sale by owner sellers, right? AI creates professional and compelling scripts for any kind of conversation. So, what I personally would do with this is I would start with the bare basics, right? And just say, I'm looking to, like, let's just say you are dialing for dollars. I am looking to have a phone script. I am calling the for sale by owners. And I also want the objections with it, right? And if it doesn't know like some of the objections you face, go ahead and type those. I face this, like I get hung up on a lot. What can I do to improve this call, right? Like I said, you're going to completely refine this. I feel like if you are going to use a script, I'm not saying they don't work. I just feel like 2026 things have changed a lot. If you're going to use a script, rehearse it. Don't literally read it off of the computer or off of a piece of paper like we used to back in the day. Rehearse it and practice your pitch essentially. Like when I jump on a call, basically like with a new client, mostly I say the same things at first. Tell me about yourself. Tell me what you're good at in your business. Tell me where you're failing in your business, right? I know that I do that open-ended questions and give them a chance to talk. I then can as a salesperson, I then can say, all right, we're going to go this way with this call, or we're going to go that way with the call, right? And it's the same thing with you guys. You're going to you have to listen to people when they're talking, right? So you know which objection and how you're going to handle it. Okay. So I honestly would just write down, all the things that you constantly are getting objective with, and I would go and refine that over and over, and I would practice the heck out of it. All right, here. So take your real estate to the next level. So, like I said, it's not replacing you guys as realtors, it's empowering you. Realtors who leverage AI will have an edge over those who do not. And I'm not talking just ChatGPT. Like I said, you guys, we are going to talk about quite a few different things AI. But just please don't feel overwhelmed and don't feel like you're left behind. There are so many people, honest to God, not using it. And then there's some that are using it and they're not using it to the maximum potential. And then of course you've got your people that really are using it to the max potential. But just know it's not replacing you and you're not left behind, okay? You're going to stay ahead of your competition by leveraging AI. It helps you stay competitive in a fast changing industry. And I want you guys to start implementing ChatGPT today to scale your business, okay? The sooner that you are going to integrate it, the more benefit and time saving potential you will have. All right, so I need to somehow stop this because I want to show you guys my other screen so you can see. All right, let's try this. There we go. Can you see this? Somebody give me a thumbs up.
ChatGPT for modern realtors, not
Mhm.
the less modern people. These are for the modern
Perfect.
people.
So this is, okay, 38 pages here. I got you mixed up with something else, but this is a very comprehensive guide, you guys, that we have in here. So you will get this as a guide. I will basically send Alan a link. It does ask you for your name and your phone number, and we're just trying some new marketing initiatives in my business. So you just have to fill that out one time, and then it basically will download this guide for you. Okay. Um, but yeah, we've got quite a bit of time. We have what, 20 minutes or so. So any questions you guys have, I'm going to get back to this call here. Stop the share. So is there any questions on here about the basics of ChatGPT?
And somebody did ask the agent wise path to find the real estate training, and then I didn't catch what you said, something chat. What's that path?
Yes, let me log in here and I'll show you guys exactly where. I'm not at the office today, so I'm on a completely different computer, so bear with me. Um, I'm just logging into somebody random's account real quick. All right, so can you guys see this screen? Yep, okay.
Yep.
So when you're inside Agent Wise Design, you're going to go on the left here where it says training. And then you're going to click real estate coaching. And it took you off that screen. I don't know why I can't show multiple screens. Does anybody know why? I won't have to do that. Can you guys see my whole screen now? All this.
I don't see you sharing anything right this second.
Yeah, see, there's something glitchy with that because I'm literally clicking share entire screen, but it's only allowing me to show certain tabs. That's weird. Okay, so I know you see this though.
I
So
do
yeah, when
see
you get
this,
into
yes, agent-wise design.
okay, when you get into training and real estate coaching, you guys are going to want to watch this video, Introduction to ManyChat. I want to see you guys get a bunch of leads and you guys, it's at your fingertips. Okay. So watch this video. And then after you watch it, you'll see, okay, yeah, there's a bunch of lead magnets, but honestly, there are so many that we're creating because I went to ChatGPT and I said, hey, I've already got a buyer guide, a seller guide, a relocation guide, all the different things we have. Give me more ideas. So we are building out quite a few for you. And then obviously inside of that chat, if it tells me, like right now, I think we're working on a um, my referral partner guide. So it's like it's for the agents that have certain referral partners all over the country or whatever, right? For investor reasons, by the way. So people are investing all over the country. But with that, like obviously we start a new chat and we're like, okay, write this, do that. And then all we have to do is just put the agent's information, their picture, whatever, and like boom, we're done with that guide. So that's gonna be a really cool guide coming pretty soon, by the way. But yeah, watch this video here. It will make a lot more sense.
I have a question. So
Yes.
how do you do we go to Agent Wise on our browser, or where do we go for that?
Yes, ma'am. So you have now which office are you with, Brenda?
Marietta?
Marietta. Okay. Because there's one office that did not sign up with us, but it is a website. So agentwisedesign.com. It would be your email that your office has, and everybody has the same password, unless you changed it. So get with your broker or message me here. I'm gonna put my email for anybody that there's lots of chats in here. I'm sorry. Here is my email for you guys. If you don't have your password, I'll send it to you. But yes, essentially it's a website. You would sign in and just go that way.
Ashley, I had a question. When I go into Agent Wise, like the content, you had a calendar in there for January, which I liked. I haven't been able to use it. I'm just starting as a new agent, but February there wasn't any content strategy for me to essentially like copy and duplicate.
Yeah, so I did put out a mass email to everybody like late January or like mid-January, but we actually are skipping February because we're redoing how we do all of that. So it
Okay.
will resume March. The only thing that will be different, we are getting rid of the content strategy, like the calendar side of it. So we have a little over 11,000 members now, and truly there were 75-ish people using it. And it was taking us like 90 hours a month of work. And I thought, okay, let's put that energy into something else. So we're still going to give you guys like an idea basis basically for March, but it will be on a thread instead of the calendar. So it will basically be one long thread and it will have a mixture of carousels, reels, and static posts. So it's the same thing, it's just not a calendar anymore. And it still has the captions too. So as a new realtor, perfect for you, Sandra, you would just basically go March 1st. But y'all, I want you to understand this too. Just because we're giving that to you, you have everything at your fingertips to form your own business too. Because if you all do use that at the same time, you're going to look like your colleagues, right? So we want you guys to have that free reign too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, and make sure, so I did, okay, so I don't want to confuse you guys, but that email I put there, that's the email to reach me directly. This is the email that all of our mass communication is coming from, like from Agent Wise Design, like, okay, hey, we just loaded this. Hey, we did that. Hey, we got a deal on this. This next email, that's where you want to make sure that I'm not in your spam anywhere. So that's like the email that masks our mass emails out there. Let me see a couple. Oh, you got the paid version, free. So all of you that have the free version, I really hope I convinced you to get the paid version. The memory side of it alone, the time thing, it may not be a big thing to you all, right? But the memory side, I promise you, that's the game changer because you don't have to keep saying, "Oh, hey, I'm Sandra Davenport, and this is my number." Da da da. Like it knows who you are. So. Let me see. Can you please text where to watch it? Where do I find the password professional post agent wise, special teachers. Okay. Any more questions on here? I think I answered all the chat ones.
I don't have a question, but do you mind if I share something real quick? It's a so I was working on it this morning. It is in ChatGPT, and I don't know if you guys have heard of CRIT or not, but it's a context role interview task.
Mm-hmm.
Just going through ChatGPT, you put it all as like one message. So you context, just give who you are, what you do, and the more honest you are with it, the better feedback you're going to get. So the context, you tell who you are. The role, what I put in mind is I told it to act as an expert realtor, giving feedback and information to help me better my business. And then the I is interview, to ask me one question at a time, up to five questions to gain deeper context. And then the T is task. It says your task is to tell me what I can do to improve and grow my business. And then what it's going to do is it's going to start asking you questions. You answer those questions. And at the end, it's going to give you a breakdown of what you can do to better your business, what you need to cut out. And, if you don't like the answers, or if you feel like, it didn't answer everything properly, you can tell it that and it can give you better answers. So with chat, a lot of times at first, you're not going to get the best answer. You need to ask it again. And
Right.
So I did that this morning, and what it gave me was pretty spot on, but it'll tell you where you're wasting time, where you need to spend more time, and
Mhm.
just a lot of other things. Answers are going to vary based on what you give it and what your business looks like. But I think it's something that could help all of us.
Oh yeah, I love that. And what Chris is basically saying, crit is like that is the framework essentially of your business. You're telling it like, okay, here's who I am. Here's, again, I would tell it a little bit more than that too, to be honest with you, and say, again, save the memory of who I am, because man, it's so annoying when you got to keep going back and forth. And I tell you, it's annoying on my end because we have this for different clients, so I can't have 1,200 different chat GPTs. That would be, crazy. But we do have to keep going back and forth. Oh, this is for so and so, this is for so and so. But as a single agent, man, save that memory and just keep it rolling. And what I like about that too, so that you just gave me a really cool idea, Chris. I feel like we should make a guide about that, right? I've never thought to tell you, other than like talking on these presentations and stuff, I never thought about talking about crit or talking about pillars, for example, framework of like introducing yourself to your chat GPT. So I'm gonna make a little guide like that. That's a cool idea. Yeah, anybody else? You guys have any cool things that you use? I guess, I don't think it's a secret. I mean, unless you don't want to share, but anything cool that you guys use ChatGPT for?
I put
Maybe.
into the chat. I know you said earlier you may not see those, but basically I tell chat what I want it to be in the moment, whether it's a marketing guru, a brainstormer. I had one, I'm actually making I'm so close, I keep saying this, but I'm making a children's activity book as well.
Mhm.
And I ran into copyright issues because, for silly example, but Winnie the Pooh is a public domain item.
Mhm.
But because of Disney, it kept freaking out, saying, "Oh, you can't do this, you can't do this." And I said, "Trust that I will filter after. Don't play lawyer. Winnie the Pooh is public domain. Now do this." And it did it because I gave it permission to skip that fear, if you will, and telling it exactly what it is in the moment, whatever you're doing, the Facebook marketer, Instagram, but um, giving it, like you said, I think you said earlier, to tell it to be limited on the emojis.
Mhm.
The more detail you give it, the better it is. And as you also mentioned, you can go back and correct it and keep correcting it until you get what you want. And then
Mhm.
tell it to lock in, give it a theme, a purpose. When you are doing this task, I'm going to tell you you are title ABC or 1, 2, 3. And now tomorrow, a week from now, you can come back and say, put on this hat. You are ABC 1, 2, 3. And I need this now. It will pick up right where it left off and be as good without all the corrections again.
Mhm.
So that's a
I
good.
know the refining process is it's such an intuitive. I mean, AI, Elon said this the other day, and it did kind of freak me out, to be honest with you. He said AI technology is going to be smarter than every human by the end of this year. And I thought, oh, okay. But it truly, you guys, it's crazy. And I feel like, okay, I just turned 36 yesterday. I feel like, man, I missed my moment. I'm like an old soul. I missed my moment during the dot-com boom, right? I was just a little kid, okay? I am not missing my moment during the AI boom. And I don't think any of you all should either, right? That I have made almost $45,000 passive income that has nothing to do with real estate marketing, nothing to do with agent wise design. I, like you, Gary, I have a 2-year-old, so I was making activity books. My husband's written books on Amazon. I mean, there's so many ways you guys could have passive income too. And then don't quit your real estate job, but put that money back into your real estate business, right? If you've got a little bit of, some free time or whatever, learn new things. It's incredible. Thank you, Chris. I love thank you for crit. And like I said, this is a very basic ChatGPT because there are apps, and I definitely invite you to explore them and go check them out, whatever. But there are so many apps within inside ChatGPT and Gemini and all the things. But like the other day, for example, my husband, um, he was making, what the heck was it called? It was some Spanish dish that we've never made before. And he basically said, I want to impress my wife. And, this is a 5-star Michelin restaurant. Make this dish or give me the recipe for this dish, right? And man, that was the best food I ever had. So, or no, it wasn't. No, it was chicken francais. Not that we couldn't bread chicken and do that. And we've done it before, actually. But this one, man, ChatGPT nailed it. So you can use it for so many different ways. But any other cool things that you guys are like, what are you guys using it for? Can I unmute Alan? I feel like Alan
Yep,
uses it.
I'm here.
Tell
I
me what
like
you,
it. I like how weird it is that it learns you. I know that
yeah,
sounds, I found it a little upsetting at first, just because like the more you utilize this platform, the more like it starts talking back to you in your own voice. Like the
mm,
more you engage with it. Now, like as I continue to use it for marketing or text or emails and those kind of things, and I adjust those, it notices those adjustments. And I've even seen it use words that are just like part of my normal vernacular. Now it will start using those, which is a little bit upsetting on one hand because you're like, okay, I don't like that I can be so easily copied. But on the other hand, it makes it a lot easier because now the more I engage with it, the more that it sounds like me. It doesn't sound like a machine that's spitting something out that wouldn't be what I say. So I do
right.
find that's kind of a neat thing that the more you engage with it, the better it starts to actually operate and sound like it's not just someone else, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely. I'm trying to find something real quick for you guys because this is going to blow your mind. And I again want you to. All right, here we go. I found it. I found it. Got a cool thread going on here. All right, so I'm going to share my screen because this is pretty cool. I feel like you guys can play around with this. Um, man, we really got to figure out why I can't. That's not that one. This one. Okay. All right, can you see this screen here?
I see two women on the screen.
Yep. So all of the AI, all of the models that you guys see in my templates, majority of them are fake people. So I am in this new business. This is funny, okay? And then I don't know, it's kind of funny. It's my side hustle. But I'm in this business now where I'm like, you know what? I want to make sure that you guys see how attractive our templates are and what they would look like if you go get professional pictures and brand photos, etc. Right? I want to showcase what you can do with it, right? So I don't know the legality. I actually reached out to my brother. I was like, well, if I take someone's photo and I completely redo it, a different person, different outfit, whatever, like what's the deal, right? So what I started doing, and my women on here, y'all know what I'm talking about real quick, inside Pinterest, okay, or Facebook, I keep seeing these ads. I'm like, oh, that's a cute outfit. And that's like something I totally would wear. So I told ChatGPT, I screenshotted that outfit and I said, design a woman with short blonde hair, bob, a stylish bob in this outfit, different background, same pose as this woman that I found. I don't know who she is. And look, it put that outfit on a fake woman. And so I then now took this photo and put it into my templates, right? Or we can use it for marketing. You obviously can do the same thing if you see a really nice kitchen that you see online. ChatGPT, I'm really inspired by this kitchen, but design something a little bit different, enough where I'm not copyright or whatever, right? Like actually say that to ChatGPT. I said that in the beginning of this thread somewhere. But you can start curating your own stock photos. So just because we use whatever stock photos we use in our templates, you can make it different. Okay. So isn't that crazy? You guys, we have created hundreds now, or I'm kind of funny, and Gary might find this interesting if he's creating, pieces of marketing. I'm taking these photos, I'm gonna put them all on basically like a file, and I'm gonna sell them to other people like me that design content that need stock photo models.
Well, one thing that I do have an agent that's doing this same thing right now, and her advice is make sure you tell it not to alter your face, because you know how
Yeah,
it makes you look plasticky and like DuPont,
yes,
Face by DuPont. If you'll tell it, put me in this outfit, it'll do that, but just tell it not to alter your face, and that
yeah.
makes it a lot better. I mean, like the output is completely different. Otherwise, you end up with like some kind of mutant looking person that's not really you.
Right, right. I know. And so I loved this woman's dress. Now we changed the pose. I don't know who, this is a totally different woman, but I'm like, you guys, the sky is the sky's the limit. It's crazy. And to be honest with you, when you have better, attractive looking marketing and stuff, you are going to attract more, right? Like I actually got a couple sales when I switched up my own branding. I mean, so just know that. Now, be careful with some of these like ChatGPT lookalike models or whatever. Just know people are going to see you more than likely in person. So that's my only thing. It does not. I'm different ethnicities, and it just does not look like me ever when I ask it to. But I found again this woman, whoever she is, she's beautiful, and I turned it into this lady. So pretty cool, huh? But anyways, all right, guys. Well, if you have any more questions, the next class I want to teach is all about social media marketing, Alan. So I would love to see you all on that class. But basically, just the insight of what we do for our clients. I would love to gain some more of you guys' business. If it's something you don't want to do yourself, we definitely handle like Linda Crisp is on here. There's a couple people on here. But yeah, so that's the next class in March.
Yeah, it's on March 9th.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
so on March 9th, Ashley will be back here. We did have a couple of questions about the password for the images, for the stock images inside the site as well. I don't know if that's
Oh,
something you can email out or if you can put it in the
um,
chat. I'm not sure if that's something that you can share with us.
yeah, I can. Let me get to it real quick because I think we just changed it. Here, I'll do it real quick so I don't forget. Let's see. All right. So I just changed it. Okay. So when you enter the site, it is 0718. And then you're going to click, view gallery, of course. Oh, you can't see my screen yet. One sec. There we go. All right. So when you get in here, you're going to 0718 to enter and then view gallery. Now these are real photos. Okay, I am going, you just reminded me I need to add more photos to this. But these right now are real photos. I think there's a couple AI. I'm going to delete the old AI. Like look how ChatGPT's changed so much. Like this is what it was making now that I see that, I'm like, oh Lord, let's remove that. But these are real photos, so they're basically, you know, categorized, whatever it is. So when you want to download a photo, though, however, you're going to click it and press this little download button here. And then you just got to do this one time. You put your email, and then the PIN is 4071. So 0718 to enter the website. To download the photo, just do it one time, 4071. And I definitely encourage you guys, please change your websites, use these for blogs, use them for templates, whatever the heck you want to do with them. If y'all want to print them, do whatever. But we are going to load some more stuff in here, though, for sure. And if anybody has any photos they want to donate, I'm all for it. So I'm going to start asking people that.
Awesome.
So awesome. Well, I'm excited for you guys. And Alan, I will get you and Neil this Hazine link for the ChatGPT guide. Is there any more questions? I don't think so.
Now I'll send it to the other franchisees as well. So I'll send it to Dana and the rest of them because she has some folks on here too. So just
Okay,
reach out to your branch managers and your brokers, and we'll get it out to everybody.
Okay. And you are recording this, right? Where do these
Yes, ma'am.
recordings go? I'm sorry.
Realestatebackstory.com
Okay.
under masterminds. Yep.
Gotcha.
If you
All
want, I
right,
can have it
guys.
sent to you as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for hanging with me on a Monday. Sorry I don't have my camera on. I always feel bad, but
No worries.
yeah, you guys have my email, so if you need anything, let me know.
Ashley, thank you so much for being with us this week. We really do appreciate it. Next week we have Georgia Melissa is going to be here going over the recent updates to Transaction Desk and everything that we need to make sure that we get Transaction Desk going on that. Week after we have Bold Trail coming back, and then we have Sean Delaney coming in after that. So thank you guys so very much. I appreciate your time. Does anybody need anything from myself or Neil or anything that we can do for anybody?
Thank
Hush
you
falls
all.
over the
Thank you,
crowd.
Ashley.
All right. Love y'all. Thanks, guys. Reach out if we can help.